All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And right away, he lost the football. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll run him here. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Murray fighting, lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. One.
From the gun, Mariota. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we've seen an example of it here.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Yeah, this will get them all the way inside the Tennessee 20. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 57 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Murray fighting, lost the football. And that might be Titan football. It is.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
To throw Mariota. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
4 down. 4 down. Check. 4 down. 4 down.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. He's going to rifle one deep and got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. First down, Mariota. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On play action, Mariota throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and it's 3rd and short.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Mariota. A dump down to McKinnon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and pick it up with Lewis. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Mariota now on 2nd down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. Oh, bowls right over him. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Steelers. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Throwing on 1st down. Murray going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Here's Murray, and that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. From the gun, Murray steps away to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle. 1st and 10 at their own 21. Following the interception here, Mariota. Screen play, McKinnon. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing is Mariota. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bud Dupree. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On now is the Titans punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. He won't go down. Penalty stings big time there, wipes away a very good return.
And they work on it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work. Try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
Gun!
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Gun!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Lucky 56. Over.
Operating from the gun. Murray trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Mariota now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, Mariota again. A dump down to McKinnon. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Mariota. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They think he can win every battle.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. They go play action here on first down. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, Murray. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? One for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
And the Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun, Murray. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, free safety was there, no gain.
To throw is Mariota. And Davis has it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Mariota trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Murray now on the move to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave them with a third down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Murray. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, Murray going top shelf for Smith. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route It's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Second down, Mariota, and that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
One.
On third down, Mariota. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw on second down. Murray. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to spin free. Finding some room at midfield. And accelerating, and off he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Mariota. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Lewis. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll go on the ground. Finding room to the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Connor. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On third down, it's Connor, and he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They run with Connor, and he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Connor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Back now in Nashville, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Connor. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Titans getting set to go. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Play fake. Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. And on the ground they go with a running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Again, it's Connor. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they worked their way back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Tight, guys, double tight. 4 down. Check. Keep it rolling.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Uncorks one for Davis. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. More yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Now that run, that's exactly why you stay with the running game. You don't abandon it totally. You stick with it, keep telling your guys to stay motivated, and they found a crease on that play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mariota on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. McKinnon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The Titans on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. This is Lewis. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Suckup for the Titan field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
A strong running. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Now let's go. Blue, landing.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8.
4 down. Check. 4 down. 4 down.
Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message.